Welcome to Women in the Arena podcast, the podcast celebrating women doing extraordinary things in plain sight. I'm your host, Audra Agen, and our mission is to elevate the value, strength, and resilience each woman brings to the world. Without further delay, let's go ahead and start the show. Welcome in, everyone, and thank you for joining me this week. This week, I'm going to do something a little bit different. There's no theme music this week. There's no guest. There's just me and the mic. I just wanted to have an opportunity to have an intimate conversation between me and all of you. I first want to start with gratitude. I want to express to you my sincerest gratitude at the amount of support and the amount of outpouring of positivity that I have received sitting in this seat. I never expected the amount of joy that I would experience from creating this podcast. As a matter of fact, I didn't even know if there was anything to expect. I didn't know if anybody would listen. For that matter, I didn't even hardly know what I was doing. I just knew that there was a need. And it was a need that I had, that I was looking for. And when I looked for it, I couldn't find it. So I decided I needed to create it. So I needed to create this platform to allow women, normal women, everyday women, accessible women, and give them a place where they could express themselves, where they could share with the world how much that they were bringing to their communities, to their families, to their organizations, to their employers, and to themselves. I wanted a place for them to be recognized as valued. More importantly, I wanted everybody to recognize themselves and each other. I wanted an opportunity for us to bridge the gap on our differences and come closer together on our similarities. Miraculously, we have created that. I've had the pleasure of being able to introduce women from all over the world and introduce them to each other and let them know that they're not alone, that there are women in other countries that feel the same way they do, that are experiencing the same things at the same time, just a little differently. It has been a pleasure to be able to do that. So far, since June of 2020, we have done 64 episodes, and we have an audience that stretches into 42 countries. We are on every continent except Antarctica. I am truly proud of what we have accomplished so far. And that is just me and a mic and talking to women around the world. I think that that is so special, and I can't wait to see how this continues to grow and evolve over the next year, year and a half, 2 years. Who knows? The sky is literally the limit, and we are continuing to grow and evolve as everything else changes and grows and evolves. So in 2021, we hit a couple of milestones. First thing that we hit a year old in June of 2021. Second milestone that we hit was my own. I turned 50. Both of those were pretty remarkable because I did it on purpose, because they happened on the same day, because I launched my podcast on my 49th birthday, because I wanted to see what would happen in a year. And I was amazed and surprised and thrilled that so much could happen in a year. And it proved to me that, yeah, one person can influence other people one at a time to change the world. So that's still my aspiration, to continue to change the world one interview at a time. So what are we going to do in 2022? We have launched our first website. It's not perfect yet, but we're getting there, and I can't wait for you to see it. You can find our website at womeninthearena.net. Second thing that we're going to do, I want to push myself a little bit. I'm going to do interviews that are a little bit of a stretch for me. They're a little bit over my head, and I'm definitely outside my comfort zone on these. But if I don't try, I won't grow. And I need both the podcast and myself to continue to grow through these efforts. So I hope you support me with these difficult ones and give me a little bit of grace if I'm not at my top game. But let me assure you that I'm giving it my 100% effort. The other thing that I would love to try this year, I want to interview a man, but not just any man. I want to interview a man that is surrounded by women, perhaps a single dad that has daughters, perhaps a married dad that has just daughters, just sisters, and is surrounded by amazingly strong women. I just want to hear their perspective of what their experience is with being surrounded by women, and maybe learn something from their point of view. There are so many things that we can tackle this year, and these are just a few of the things that I've already put into place to get done. And just like in the beginning, I can't get any of this done without you. You have been here with me from the beginning, and I need you now as I continue to grow and stretch. I need you to help me reach other areas. If you have guests that you'd like me to interview, please send them to me. If you have ideas for episodes that you'd like me to do, please send those to me as well. If you'd like me to go to other countries, if you'd like me to talk about other topics, I want to know all of that. This is a community. We do this together. I may be the one behind the mic, but I am certainly not here by myself. I'm here representing this community that has been built one person at a time. So, like I said, I don't do this without you. And I do this with you and for all of us. So please let me know how I can continue to push and grow this community. And last but not least, in 2022, I'm going to start and end each day with gratitude. As you know, I started this conversation with gratitude, my gratitude for all of you. But if anything I have learned is that life is tough. The past 2 years have definitely taught me that no matter what you do, no matter if you think you're doing all the right things, sometimes life is hard anyway. But I'm not going to look at the hard stuff. There have been some amazing, remarkable, beautiful things that have happened in the last 2 years as well. And I'd rather focus on that. So if you have any other ideas how I can continue to express my gratitude forward, let me know. Because I want to share that. I want all of us to focus on all of the amazing things that have been brought forward to us. And not necessarily highlight the bad stuff. The bad stuff won't get us anywhere anyway. I'd rather focus on the good stuff because I think that'll take us further. So next week, we start Season 4. I can't wait for Season 4. And next week will be the regular format with all the music and a guest and commercials and all of that. But this week is just for you and me. I want to thank you all for joining me this week. And thank you for joining me for every week previous and every week that's going forward. As I've said many, many, many times in this conversation and in previously, I can't do this without you. Quite frankly, I wouldn't want to. So I am grateful and thankful for each and every one of you. And I hope that collectively, 2022, we all move the needle forward on changing the world. One interview, one person at a time. Thank you guys all for joining me this week. We'll be back next week with all the fanfare, and I'll see you soon.
This is just the beginning.
That's our show. I am so grateful for each and every one of you and your unwavering support and your continued belief in this movement that has become much bigger than me, much bigger than just a podcast. It has become this forward momentum that we are all doing together. If you are ready, or you know somebody that is ready to tell your story and share your value with the world, please connect with me. You can reach me at audra@womeninthearena.net. I am so honored and thankful that you will share your story with me, and I'll make sure that it is well taken care of. I will never stop thanking each and every one of you, and I cannot wait to talk to you again next week as we share another woman's story and we celebrate her doing extraordinary things in plain sight. We'll see you next time.